Aloha, my kaku. Welcome back. This video will call to do a X double bar chart, statistical process control. Again, this specific statistical process control is different from the first two that we talked about because this is more dealing with a numerical measure that you can use, not just counting the defects, its quality, but this one we're dealing with numbers. So let's say one of the examples that we're going to use today, right now on this video, is that I'm a manufacturing organization, Raffia. I don't know if some of you might not be familiar of Raffia, but a Raffia looks like this. So let's say I'm manufacturing a Raffia. What is Raffia used for? It's actually used in crafts, or me, I love making lei, and May 1 just happened the first day of this spring semester. But every time it's Lei Day celebration in Halau, and I used to go hula, this is my favorite celebration in the in the hula. I mean, when I go to Halau to Papa to practice, and we make our lei. And this is my favorite style of making a lei, the Vili style. So, and I use raffia in order for me to make a beautiful lei. So it's actually this kind of material used for making the lei po'o. This is one of the material that they usually use. So let's say I'm a company that's manufacturing this kind of material and selling it. And then the way I measure it, if my raffia are manufactured, it's in conformance of the expected quality. I base the quality on the length of that raffia. Let's say Taylor mentioned about in class different batches. So this is probably more applicable because although you can collect as many, not just 5 or anything like that. Let's say I can refer this to the different batches. Probably first batch on that day, second batch, third batch, fourth batch, and fifth batch. Although you can manufacture a lot of times within a day, but for the sake of demonstrating how to do the X double bar, just using 5 batch, probably manufacturing it, and just 10 days. We'll stick with 10 days. Okay, it's called an X double bar because you want to get, in statistical terms, X usually means the mean. The mean is the average. So before I import it to Tableau, I'm going to get the average first of all of these data sets I collected per day. So I measured in day 1, there's like 5 strands, probably, or from different batch, I grab random strands of a raffia and I measured it. And the first one, the sample that I get is 6.75 feet. The second one is 5.91 feet and stuff like that. Now I'm gonna get the average for that one, and then I'll just gonna double click that, and then it gives me the average for every single day that I have. And this is what we're gonna use. That's why it's called double bar, because we're gonna the double bar will be the one in your middle, the average of the average. That's why it's double bar. Okay, now let me save this and then import it to Tableau. Okay, now that it's imported, I already uploaded it to Tableau online. When I go back to my data source, I should be able to see all of this. I have my days of data collection, the sets of samples that I got, and the measurement for that one. And I got the mean, the X, the average per day. I did that before importing it to Tableau. Okay, we'll go to our worksheet. And then now it's just the same thing that we did with the first two. The day, we're going to put in columns. And then X bar is what we're going to put in here, right? So that's the average. And then we're going to go to analytics and then drag the average line, like make sure it's in the sum of X bar. There you go, it gives me the average. But the thing is, we're gonna format this again and then edit. And then we're gonna say custom, this is our X double bar equals to value. There you go. There you go. And then we're gonna put the parameters again. So we can just analyze using different standard deviation. It could be 1 standard deviation, 2 standard deviation, or 3 standard deviation. The way we do it, we go to data and then create parameters. And then this is gonna be number of standard deviation. Let me say range, minimum 1, maximum 3, step size 1, fix. Then we click this arrow drop down, show parameter, it will show in our right hand side. There you go. Now we are ready to set up our, what's that? Upper control limit. So we go to data, create calculated field, and this is your upper control limit. And then you put your sum of X bar. You add to, oh no, we're gonna do windows, yeah. Window average first, because we are doing the, not just the average, but the average of average. Window of sum of X bar. So that means that's our X double bar plus window standard deviation of our sum X bar. And then we multiply it to the parameter of how many standard deviations that can be. Then we just click, drag, and drop to the calculation field. And then okay. And again, we'll do the same thing, copy, duplicate, and then we gotta edit this. And then we're gonna make this as our lower control limit. Lower control limit. Instead of plus, we're gonna say minus. And then okay. And after that, select both upper control limit and control limit and drag it and drop it. Yeah, to details. Now that we have that, we actually need to do analytics and just do your reference band to the sum X bar. And then there you go. It's just this one, we gotta change it to lower control limit. This one, we're gonna change it to upper control limit because minimum, maximum. And then label will be changed, customize it. And then this is our lower control limit equals to whatever the value is. And then custom for label for the upper control limit or control limit equals to value. There you go. And then you close that out and we should be able to give you this measurement right here. And then looking at this already, oh goodness, for day 1, I already have out of control based on the average length of raffia that I manufactured in that one. I'll take a look at day 1, what happened there. Again, state 3, upper control limit, X bar. Okay, lower control limit. Oh, it's almost out of control. Okay, the way we do this, so it's easier to see it visually, is to, okay, let's edit this first. I want to format this, make this line that one, and the opacity of this, I want to make less. Yeah, that will work. And then I don't want to do that, but let me see. Okay, good. And then we are doing a, yeah, we need to do a calculated field again. Create a calculated field. And this is gonna say, hey, this is out of control. out of control. So if statement, if sum of bar is greater than the upper control limit, or the sum of x bar is less than the lower control limit, then it will be sum of x bar, not then you end. And okay, and then we get this, put it under the rows. There you go. Now it's automatically determining that, okay, that's gonna be circle. But maybe if we change the standard deviation, that's why we want to make sure that we're gonna format it as not automatic, but a circle. So that might impact, it might change while we do the standard deviation right there. And then you want to make sure the sum of x bar is actually aligned. Again, right click, dual axis, and then this one is synchronized. There you go. So this day 3 is actually under control. So there's 3 days that's out of control based on the X double bar chart. So we have this day 1, day 5, and day 7. It's out of conformance. But if you are doing a standard deviation of 2, so it seems like nothing is actually out of conformance or out of control. Okay, so this is how you do your X double bar, and the R bar chart is actually just getting the minimum and the maximum. You minus it, whatever the range is, and stuff like that. Okay, we'll go back and then we'll do a different video for doing an R chart. All R bar chart. Okay. This ends the video for X double bar chart.